All right, folks, we just wrapped up stop number 3 of the Tackle Warehouse Invitationals on Lake Eufaula. Kelly Jordon got it done. Huge bag on the final day. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. It was, man, it was one of those awesome days you have on the water sometimes. It just was amazing. Tough conditions, I know. The wind was howling, but when I got a bite, it seemed like it was a big one. So really, no words, just a blessed day, man. It was awesome.
Well, you kind of caught them all week, and you definitely saved your best for last. And it's flat calm out here right now. This looks good.
This is gonna be awesome. It should be.
Can you take me back out, show me how you got it done?
I hope so. I know where they have been, so there's a chance there might still be a couple stragglers left.
All right, to the lake. Alrighty, so Kelly, we're here. We're at the scene of the crime. We got a couple little points, and tell me, I guess, what's going on here? Because they don't really look like much right now.
Yeah, they're just, I mean, the key with the water being low is rock. And if you can find rock, there's going to be some fish around it for sure. Now, some areas there's just tons and tons of rocks.
Right out that way?
yeah, and some areas there's not much rock.
Yep.
So it's more of a premium if you don't have much in a big area that's mostly sand. So that's what we got here. We got some rock on some of these points, and they are in a spawning area. I mean, this is in a creek. You got spawning pockets around. It's a perfect staging spot, not only for fish coming in to spawn, but also fish leaving.
Going the other way.
I've caught post spawners and pre spawners. So
all right.
just the ideal, it's like the perfect deal. And it's very subtle. It's not, you know, it just doesn't stick out. It's kind of hard to find. And I look for that stuff in practice, and I was fortunate to find. I found a couple deals like this. So,
all right.
This one is lights out.
Well, let's get to it, because from what I understand, we got a lot of good opportunity real close.
I hope so.
All righty. How deep is it? Am I like letting this sink for a while?
Yeah, if you miss, if it sinks more than like 6-7 feet, you missed.
Okay,
and then you're slow rolling on the bottom, and we're probably just outside.
Oh, there's the bottom.
Yeah, that's good. If you take a rock, you better look out. And the thing is, some of them are way up on top, and some of them are on the edge.
Out off the edge?
Yesterday, every one I caught was on top, which was weird. Because in practice and the 2 days before that, they were all on the edge.
Interesting.
In that high wind, I mean, you would think they'd be more backed off, but
they'd actually just really moved up.
The ones that were biting were up there. I don't think they were biting very good at all.
Yesterday.
That's why the ones I caught were up top. They were actively feeding, and there's a shad spawn. The shad are spawning up on these shallow points. I caught 2 shad yesterday.
Really?
On this vibrating jig.
There was a lot of bait in
I mean, it's
lake.
hard to catch one on a vibrating jig. I caught 2 yesterday.
Wow.
And they were both that long, 3 inches.
Okay. And that's what you're throwing at them. Oh gosh.
Did you get smoked?
I think I got bit there. He didn't like hold on to it or anything.
There's stumps there too. You come over the top of them,
I definitely might have ticked into something.
There's a stump right there, you see it?
Oh, yep.
There's 3 or 4 up here that are kind of gnarly. I hang them all the time. And that's the other key is stumps. So there's stumps on the rocks in this deal. I mean, if you can see the stumps, I flipped some stumps. Didn't catch any in the tournament flipping stumps, but threw around them and I caught some on this vibrating jig.
Yep.
I'd catch one and go over there, and sure enough, it had just come right by.
Okay.
And so you're trying, now on my active target, I've looked for them too and thrown right by them. And
yeah, sometimes see one and cast right at it.
Oh, there's one.
Oh gosh.
It feels like,
looks like a good.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a good bass. We are in business. Oh! We're out of business.
You didn't want him, he was little.
I mean, I kind of want all of them, but we'll do better.
He bit it.
He was like, he might have literally come off that stump.
He was off that stump because my bait was on the bottom and I was going to touch my grab and it went like that.
And you pulled, like you twitched it right up and he bit it. Wow.
That was about as small as I've seen out here. That was probably 2.5 pounds.
All right. Still though, there's fish here though.
That's a good thing.
That's good. You didn't catch all of them.
No. I think they come and go in this kind of stuff all day long. And I think the afternoon is the best if you can be here. Because I mean, it is a, I mean, it's not really, but it's kind of an offshore structure deal.
Yeah.
It's not really a shoreline deal, and those kind of deals, I mean, around the spawn, the afternoon bite is almost always the best, barring the shad spawn, which is early in the morning. But especially when they're relating to stuff like this, it's just, they just get hungry about, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when the dinner bell goes off. And that's about when time we have to come in.
Yeah.
I always hate that.
We're not going to be out here until 2 o'clock, I don't
No.
think. Kelly, the first day you fished like these 2 really good spots for, I mean, like minutes.
I fished right here for 10 minutes.
What was, and then the day 2, you really didn't fish this stuff much either. You stayed off it a lot. I don't want to say why were you so sneaky, but the sneakiness really turned out to be a very good thing for you.
When I find something special, man, I just, and to a fault. And I almost thought I had outsmarted myself in this tournament.
Yeah.
There's one.
Okay.
One. Come on, baby.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's actually kind of small for here. The little guys have moved in.
I mean, I think every fish is a good one.
No doubt. I saw this yesterday afternoon. I caught 2 little ones and I had not seen anything, but this is a nice one.
No doubt. I mean, it's a keeper.
Yeah.
All right.
2.5 pounder, 2 pounder, 2 pounder. Look how you ate that thing. It's gone.
Oh yeah, he's not coming off.
Look where he's
Yeah, he's hooked like 2 inches back in his mouth.
He's never coming off.
That's awesome.
So anyway, see you, buddy.
Nice fish, man. That's the way to start.
Yep. Bye-bye.
All right, so KJ, you caught a lot of fish on a vibrating jig this week, and you caught fish on a square bill too, and then a worm. I guess, give me the rundown on this stuff. What exactly were you using? Rod, reel, line, all that stuff, because you really didn't lose any fish. Like, you were dialed in.
Well, I mean, you're always fortunate when you don't lose any fish, so, but you can help your odds when you have the right tackle and, for what you need to do.
Yeah.
So I was using basically a medium heavy. It's a Duckett Pro Series rod. It's my signature one. It's 7-foot medium heavy action rod, and I love this rod because it's a utility rod. It does so many things. It's got a nice tip to it. It's not super stiff.
It's super sensitive too.
Yes.
Like, I can feel everything.
And that's real important, popping off these rocks.
Yep.
And same thing, I throw a square bill on the same rod here. But I was throwing 17-pound fluorocarbon on the square bills. And I actually had a bigger oversized one than I threw some, but I never got a bite on it. I was very disappointed. A great big 5.5. I was hoping.
That would have been fun.
But and then on these vibrating jigs, I was throwing 17 and 20, and I kind of edged more to the 20 because it's so gnarly down there with the rocks.
Yep. And
then I hook several fish, and they take off and get around one of these stumps. I had to chase a couple of them and get on the other side.
Go wrangle them.
Scary.
Yeah.
And so in the water's pretty off color here. The fish are big. The cover's gnarly. So you got to have a rod to get them out, and you got to have line to get it done. And then I got a high-speed Duckett reel, 420 R.
It's a custom vibrating jig, but I guess this one has a gold blade. You caught them on a gold and a silver blade in the tournament?
All silver.
Or all silver. And we've already now caught fish on gold, so.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
As long as it looks like a shad. I mean, that's
I'm
pretty
convinced.
much what they're eating. I mean,
Yeah.
I caught 2 of them yesterday. Hooked them. I mean, you're like, man, that was. And they're trying to spawn with it and bumping it, and then one of them, hits the hook. But,
Yeah, they're running right with it.
That and my square bill, and in this area, it was weird. It depended on the part of the lake you were in. I had water everywhere, and coming here, I had several. I would just hop and skip.
Yep.
And the square bill was working much better on the main lake than back in creeks. Don't know why, but out there, I could throw a vibrating jig and not get a bite. Pick up my square bill, and bam, bam, bam. Just a different bite.
That's like, it's really interesting because, like, probably the watercolor wasn't that different, or even if it was, like, it might have seemed like it'd be better for a vibrating jig.
And the shad spawn is going on. You can see them everywhere on top of these points.
Yep.
And I was catching them on a vibrating jig, and you think a big white square bill. And I tried it a lot. I threw yesterday in that wind. I slow rolled a big spinner bait. I threw a square bill. No bites except on this. I did. Hey, it is what it is.
You figured it out. It worked. I mean, we're not going to worry about it beyond that, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it worked out, but like, I was still very surprised that it went down that way. But at the same time, when you don't get bit on the other stuff, you go back to what brought you here. So
No doubt. I kind of want to make some more casts.
let's do it. They're right at those stumps right there.
All right, I can do that. Kelly, you had just an incredible final day. When did you think you had a shot to win? Because it went really well, but you didn't start out like a pound back.
Yeah, I was 6 pounds back. That is just a mountain to climb, because if you looked at the weights, they were so tight. And Ron Nelson, he just had a separation.
He was way out.
He had caught 20 pounds, you know, the first 2 days in a row, and you're like, man. You knew conditions were coming. You knew that might create an opportunity, because it was going to be really tough. It's going to be hard for some guys to fish their water. Maybe the fish wouldn't bite. You know, there was a lot of stuff like that. You know, all I knew to do was come where I knew the best fish were and put my head down and try to make it happen. And when I started catching some big ones, the first one was almost right at 5 pounds. I said,
gosh, what a way to start.
There's one down, need 4 more. And caught another good one, then caught another good one. And then I hit a lull pretty good.
Yep.
And then I caught 2. I caught a 4-pounder in a little pocket around the corner, just going in because I was trying to get out of the wind. It was brutal.
Yeah, just trying to escape.
And I had 4 fish for almost 18 pounds at that time.
Gosh.
And I said, man, this is, okay, now I'm thinking what he has to catch now to have a chance, you know. And and then I caught a 2.5, and that got me to 20 pounds. And I said, man, now he's got to catch 14 pounds. A lot of guys stumbled on one day. And so, you know, I didn't think I had much of a chance at all. But it's in your mind, and I really, really wanted to get rid of that 2.5 pounder.
And then you did.
At the very end of the day, it's the most awesome thing ever. If I can tell a story as long as you can cut it, whatever. But I pulled in. I had almost no troll motor batteries left. I made the run. I allowed 1 hour and 15 minutes to run back. I got to really close in 15 minutes. This bass cat will scoot, by the way. And it was choppy. You trim down, it'll just eat that stuff up. And I got within 7 miles of takeoff. I have 1 hour left. I'm like, but I don't have much of a troll motor. So I'm like, what can I do? I had a bank that I had gone through and fished in practice that I had caught 3 big old blue cats off timber with there's bait and there was fish in there I'd seen on my active target. So I knew it was alive with fish, but I caught 3 big catfish.
Yeah.
But it was just right, and it felt right, and it had 2 of the right things on it that I have now had figured out by the last day what they were sitting on. I said, there's 2 of those in there. Let me go in there. And I went, and I actually was going to the bigger one. I said, wait a second, I'm going to go to the other one, the smaller one first, because it's upwind, so I can drift down.
Drift the whole thing.
Because they'll let the wind blow.
Throw out a
my
sock.
troll motor's so good. So I get to that smaller point, and I fire my bladed jig out there, and it loads up. I said, no way, no way. And I see it, and it's a good fish. I'm thinking close to 4 pounds. It's post-spawn skinny, weighed 3 pounds 9 ounces. Bigger than 3.5. Great fish, cold my
good one.
2.8. So I gained 1 pound an ounce in 1 ounce right there. I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I got to go, I got to go. So I'm going as fast as I can to the next point around the dock.
That's fish.
Fish on, baby. Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted
That's not fair.
your story.
I wasn't in the water. Boy, that's a chunky little female. Look at that.
It's not a bad one even.
Yeah, chunky.
All righty.
Nice fish.
There are fish here. Now I believe it. All right, so finish the story. Sorry, it's a good one.
That was awesome, man. So I'm going as fast.
Maybe they're still biting though. But.
Yeah. I better cast. I'm gonna let you catch that big
All
one.
right.
But so I get around the point. I don't hardly have any troll motor gas. I'm throwing at this, getting close to this great big underwater point with giant rocks on it.
Yep.
And I'm watching boats coming up from the lake. I see the last boat coming. I want to go out in front of them, so in case I had something happen, I could be picked up on the way in.
Yeah.
I said, I got to go. And my troll motor's not hardly working, so I just picked my troll motor up, stow it, and I said, big girl, if you're going to bite, it's going to have to be on this cast. I have my troll motor up, fire out there, start slow rolling that, and it just goes, oh, and I said, no way. It's literally what I said, no way. And I'm like, this is a big one. Maybe it's a catfish. Comes up, I see its head. Almost a 5 pounder, 4 pounds, 13 ounces.
That's huge.
My last cast. It culls the 3.9 that I had just caught, gets me to 22 and change.
Yep.
Put it in the live well. That was the last cast I made, and I went in.
Strap the rods down, turn and burn.
Unbelievable. It just doesn't happen like that.
No doubt.
Catch a 3.9 and a 4.13 in 5 minutes.
It's incredible.
On a stop that you weren't planning on making on the way in. turned out I don't think I needed that, but it just added an exclamation. I was just in awe. I mean, what do you say? It's just speechless. And hey, it's every fisherman's dream to have something like that happen, and it happened to me yesterday. And it was unbelievable. Good Lord bless me forevermore. It was amazing.
Well, Kelly, I tell you what, it was an incredible win. Like, you were right there the whole time, and you put it all together on the final day. Man, congratulations.
Thank you. It was awesome.